Now we are going to talk about engagement and disengagement of language learners in online classes. Learner engagement has long been an important issue in education in general and in language learning in particular. Online learning has highlighted the determining role of these constructs in the process of learning as well. So, I'm sorry, I have to move them a little bit. So engagement, by engagement, we mean the student's psychological investment in an effort directed toward learning, understanding, mastering the knowledge, skills, crafts that academic work is intended to promote. This is the general definition given for engagement in education. By student engagement in the context of online education, we mean the amount of time and effort that students invest in the learning process conducted online. Engagement has three main dimensions: behavioral, emotional, and cognitive. It assumes importance in education because it is a significant predictor of academic achievement. By behavior engagement, it draws, we mean the idea of participation, students' involvement in academic and social or extracurricular activities. Emotional engagement encompasses positive and negative reactions to teachers, academics, and schools. And cognitive engagement draws on the idea of investment. It incorporates thoughtfulness, willingness to exert the effort necessary to comprehend complex ideas and master difficult skills. The problem posed in this research study was, in face-to-face classroom, students and teachers have physical contact. Therefore, teachers are aware of students' quality of engagement, involvement, participation, and have better control over students' engagement. In contrast, this lack of contact and physical cues in online classes tempts students to be distracted, disengaged, which leads to low achievement, followed by dissatisfaction, demotivation, and as a consequence, dropout. The research questions posed in this research study were: to what extent are Iranian EFL learners engaged in synchronous online learning? To what extent are Iranian EFL learners motivated in synchronous online learning? And to what extent are Iranian EFL learners satisfied with synchronous online learning? Is there a correlation between the levels of engagement, motivation, and satisfaction of Iranian EFL learners in online learning? How are Iranian EFL learners engaged in online classes? And what factors impede engagement in online classes? The study was done in two quantitative and qualitative phases. In quantitative phases, it was a survey study. We administered a questionnaire. And in qualitative study, we had one-on-one interviews. The participants of the study were 120 intermediate, upper intermediate, and upper intermediate students from Iran Language School in Tabriz, Iran. And they were enrolled in online general English courses and ranged in age from 15 to 18. Following COVID-19, this school has provided both online and on-site courses. So it is a kind of option for the students to choose whether to take the courses online or on-site. The instruments we used the questionnaire designed by Dixon to evaluate the students' online engagement in online classes. And this scale included 4 items: skill engagement, emotional engagement, participation engagement, and performance engagement. By skills engagement, we mean student engagement through practicing skills. For example, taking notes in the class, doing, for example, reading tasks and some other language skill tasks. Emotional engagement represents students' engagement through emotional involvement with the class material, for example, desiring to learn the language, the material. And participation or interaction engagement represents student engagement through participation in class and interactions with instructors and other students. Like, for example, working in groups with other peers, working in pairs, helping fellow students, and so on. Performance engagement represents student engagement through levels of performance in the class. For example, doing well on the test can be one of the examples. So the results of the quantitative study, to what extent are Iranian, the first research question, to what extent are Iranian EFL learners engaged in synchronous online learning? The students' degree of engagement was scored on a range of 1 to 10, where 1 denoted no engagement at all, and 10 total immersion or engagement. According to the data analysis, the engagement level among the students was only modest, with a mean score of 4.97. The second research question, to what extent are Iranian EFL learners motivated in synchronous online learning? To answer research question 2, students' motivation level was also measured using a 10-point rating system. The student motivation level was below the average level with a mean score of 4.78 again. To what extent are EFL learners satisfied with synchronous online learning? A 10-point rating system was used to gauge the student satisfaction level, and the student satisfaction was once more below average with a mean of 4.27. Is there a correlation between the levels of engagement, motivation, and satisfaction of Iranian EFL students? To answer this question, bivariate correlation was conducted. Engagement was strongly correlated with motivation and satisfaction. There was also a strong relationship between motivation and satisfaction. To put it differently, it may be deduced that poor levels of student engagement with online learning impact their motivation to engage in the activity, ultimately leading to low satisfaction level. How are Iranian EFL learners engaged in synchronous online learning? The second part of the questionnaire was specified to measure students' different types of engagement, including skill engagement, emotional engagement, participation engagement, and performance engagement. The items related to this part were rated based on a 5-point Likert scale, ranging from 1, not at all my characteristic, to very like my characteristic. This is an extract from the questionnaire. For example, skill engagement, making sure to study my lessons regularly. For example, moderately characteristics of me. The results revealed that the highest mean score, 3.88, was obtained by performance engagement, followed by skill engagement and emotional involvement. The participation engagement obtained the lowest mean score with a mean score of 2.68. The qualitative study, the interview, was transferred into a Microsoft Word document. It produced a total of 1,423 Persian words. And following CRISPR, 7 steps of content analysis were conducted. 4 themes emerged as the result of the content analysis: lack of close interaction with class members, lack of discipline, technology-related issues, and unconventional learning environment. Unfortunately, I don't really think we will have enough time to explain all in detail. You might go to the conference book to read the article, sorry. Several reasons, according to Bond and Bedaniler and Mercer, may account for students' disengagement in online classes, ranging from learner internal factors to learner external factors. The results of this study demonstrated an interrelationship between motivation, satisfaction, and engagement. Motivation and engagement are closely related, with higher motivation leading to higher engagement. And higher satisfaction results in decreased dropout rates, increased perseverance, and motivation to take more online courses. As we can see, there is this relationship, intermingled relationship between these three variables, with the engagement, of course, the relationship between engagement and motivation and satisfaction, and at the same time, motivation to engagement and satisfaction and to engagement. It means that they have mutual relationships. The relationship means it's not just one directed, but there is they are intermingled or interconnected. The result of the analysis of questionnaires showed that student performance engagement yielded the highest engagement score. Maybe it is because the students' attempt toward passing and performing well on exams may justify the high rate of performance in comparison to other types of engagement. As most of the students in this institute are high school students, they take English courses as their extracurricular activity to improve their English and do well on the exam at school. This reason may increase their extrinsic motivation to become engaged. The students' participation engagement scored the lowest, which might be due to a lack of social presence in online classes. The findings imply that to foster engagement, satisfaction, and motivation in online learning, more interactive platforms are required. Ease interaction, communication among the students, because the closer the bond and familiarity between the students, or coherence between the students, the more competitive and cooperative they may be, which can in turn alleviate boredom and lead to more engagement and involvement. Teachers should adopt innovative and creative strategies to involve students in online learning. Online classes are more demanding than face-to-face classes. Therefore, they require a more energetic performance on the part of teachers to keep learners focused and engaged. Teachers also need to create a balance between care and control to arouse learners' interest in their online lessons and maintain discipline at the same time. Given that one of the primary predictors of online courses is student satisfaction, it is incumbent to identify the root of student satisfaction with online classes and eliminate the barriers to fulfill students' expectations of the course and make them more motivated and involved or engaged. Thank you for your patience. I am ready to take any comments, questions. Right. I would be more than glad to take your comments, to add to the study, and to use your experience in the first place, Dr. Roya Hoye, and of course, the audience. Unfortunately, I don't have the chance to see the audience.
Okay, thank you very much, Shahid, for the very, very interesting topic you chose and discussed. Do we have any questions for Dr. Tier? Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Naki. The Nebi Sharabic is here, University of Cambridge. Thank you for your presentation. Well, I have a question. The students answered the questionnaire, right? So those are their views about their engagement, motivation, and satisfaction, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Did you perhaps test it against the views of the teachers? I mean, do teachers agree with the views of the students? And second question, it should correlate, does it correlate with